What's up, everybody? Just want to do a quick video on something that a lot of people don't talk about, and don't hear much people talking about it. Maybe they don't know a lot about it, but I'm sure they've been through it before. So just wanted to talk about family court, everything that comes with it: child support, custody, all the good stuff. So, because a lot of people come to me with wanting to know how to do certain things. I don't, I'm not no legal expert, but I do know a few things, and I've helped a lot of people out. Here in New York State, but other places is different. But mostly when it comes to family court, all across the board, it's kind of the same structure. So some may know what I'm talking about, others may not. But family court is designed for a lot of different things. This obviously the stuff you see, and then the stuff you can't see, which is it's designed to generate obviously money for the government. Generate money. It gives them more control and the illusion of control, of power they have over you, and that's what it's all about. And it also splits up and breaks up the families. And I know in my area, and I've heard of other areas, in the past 15 to 20 years, the family court system has grown, expanded. There's nowhere that it has decreased. There's just nowhere. I'm sure anybody listening to this can contest to that indeed it is doing nothing but growing. So what does that tell you? About more people are feuding and breaking up? Yeah, but it also tells you it's big business, and it's for more control, more powerful control. So basically, what happens is, two people split or whatever, they had kids and they want to go for custody, and oh, these freaking ambulance. Hold on. So, what happens is two people together, they got kids, they split up. Dad goes one way, the mom goes the other. Usually, the mom, takes the kids, and, most of the time it's a battle. Oh, I want to see the kids. No, you're not going to see them. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. Da-da-da. Then the guy's like, oh, I got to go file for, custody for the kids. And the woman's like, no, you're not getting custody. I'm going to file for them, and then we're going to get child support. You're going to bring the beast right into the situation. So that's the basis of it. And so what happens is when you guys go file the paperwork, all you're doing is you got to go down, you got to file for custody. So what happens is the kids are already property of the state, and you guys are already property of the state. So now between all these properties, they have to come to another contract attached to it, make it legal, so they can profit off it, so they can control you with it. But this is how it works. So now you got the contract of the child, the property of the child, you have the property of the mother, and then you have the property of the father. And if the mother and father are together with a binding contract through marriage, that has to be dissolved and create another contract. So this is how it works. So the divorce thing is a whole nother story, but I'm gonna, you'll get what I'm saying. So you have three contracts that have to negotiate terms. So this is why you go into family court. And a lot of people don't, if you notice, the family court has expanded, but yet got more private. And that's because they do a lot of illegal, it's all illegal, but they want it to where not many people see what's going on, because there is some people that are hip to it, and they don't want them in the courtroom to see or to sway anybody if they know how to handle their situation, so that person could say, wait a minute, I could do that? Oh, you know. So they make it private where only one person, two people maybe can go in there. I mean, it's ridiculous when it should be, when it is open to the public. So now you have these 3 contracts. You go into court negotiating. So what happens is, in the court, you're dead, she's dead, the child's dead. That's why they appoint a law guardian. I don't know what they call it, a law guardian, lawyer of the kid, you know, whatever you want to call it. So with this, you have a lawyer for the kid, and they say you don't have to have an attorney, but you know, you can. And you know, a lot of times the court will appoint an attorney for the woman. I mean, there's a lot of programs where they appoint an attorney for the woman, because nobody can talk, because they're all considered dead. That's why, you know, I mean, you could do your own research on it, but that's why you can't speak in court. You got to speak through a lawyer, and they speak for you because you're dead. And that lawyer, once you get that lawyer, you sign over your rights to that lawyer, and he negotiates for you. He speaks for you. So what happens is, say you all got lawyers. You got that lawyer, the law lawyer, and the kid's lawyer, and then her lawyer. So they're going to do all the talk. That's why you can't talk. The judge will tell you to shut up because you can't talk. And the best thing you can do in court, I mean, the emotions are high. You know, it's the worst recipe of court. Like, it's the worst. You just broke, people just splitting up from relationships. You have childs involved. You have money involved with child. It's a really intense, bad situation. So it's hard to compose yourself. But the best way in family court is to compose yourself with just be quiet. You know, 99% of the times the other party is going to fly off the handle. So the best way you can do is just let them speak, and then you speak. Because the one thing the administrative lawyers, judges, referees, no legal title whatsoever, have no jurisdiction over you whatsoever. They're just there negotiating the contract. That's all they're there doing. Nothing else. They don't have authority over you. They may claim it, but they don't. Nothing. It's all papers. It's contracts. It's what you're binding to. That's it. They're just enforcing them. So you cannot speak directly to the judge. So while they're you guys go to court, you guys negotiate. You know, you let her talk, and then I might be all over the place a little bit. I'm driving. I gotta pay attention to the road and try to pay attention. You know, speak and think at the same time. Sometimes it gets hard, but so now you're both, you know, you're all in the court, okay? You let the one talk, and you let the, you know, when she's done or he's done, you know, let them. I don't care if they say you slapped your kid, you beat the shit out of him, you know, you did this, you did. You don't just bust out. No, I didn't. You wait till you're done, then you explain your side of the story. If you have a lawyer, you do it through your lawyer. If not, you talk to the judge, which that's what I've done. I don't use any kind of, you know, when I went through the process, you know, I didn't use any kind of, I did at first, but afterwards I didn't use any kind of, you know, assistance from any law or anything. So that's how you know, you speak in court. You let the one talk, you don't talk. Oh, I don't care what they say, and then you say your piece, okay? So always before the court proceedings, they always come around and have you sign a paper, and basically that paper is just giving the judge the right. You're signing the judge the right to basically rule over you on these contracts. That's all they're doing. When they send that paper here, sign here, blah blah blah, you're just giving them authority to go. You can not choose to sign that sheet. You simply could just they'll tell you all kind of, you know, things that, you know, you don't have to sign that. That's up to you. But you feel forced, you feel pressured, you feel you have to, you feel you lose your kids, you lose everything, and you end up signing it. What you just did is gave that referee, judge, attorney, whatever, he's not a real judge, administrative, he's nothing. You just gave him the right to rule over these contracts, okay? So now you just basically sign him on to the contract to be a part of it. And he represents who? The state. So, which is already representing the contracts anyway. So now what happens is, say they rule in, you go battle, you go fight, they rule in, okay, she gets the kids this amount of time, you get the kids this amount of time, whatever, however you feel, this is how it's going to go. You're going to go to court a few times, whatever. But in a nutshell, all they're doing is negotiating these contracts. So now, say you get your kids every other weekend, blah, 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 this time and that day. And then she gets the custody of the kids. Okay, this is why you go to court to get custody. The person who gets custody, whether man or woman, doesn't really have a custody of the kids. They're just making you think you have custody when they really have the authority over those children, okay? So if whoever gets the custody, they live with them or whatever, the other person pays the child support, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. They just put that label custody for that parent, and you think you got all the rights in the world, and they're with me, I get the child support. No, what happened is the government, the state, they just granted you custody of your kids. Said, here, you have them majority of the time. The person's going to pay the child support, but behind the scenes, they actually have authority over those children, not the custodial parent. These are all legal terms they're using. Okay, so you think the person with the kid thinks they have custody and can do whatever they want, but in reality they can't. It's the state's authority of those children. And a lot of people get this screwed up. And then I get the questions a lot of people ask, well, I gotta pay child support, it goes through the court. Well, why? Everybody always wants to know, what interest does the court have in child support? They have a lot of interest. A lot of people come to me and they always try to bash me at first, say, man, what you talking about? Man, they don't get no money from that. The money goes to the woman. But this is how the process works when it comes to child support. Say I'm paying child support $200 whatever a week. Okay? I'm paying, they start hitting my check, or I gotta go down and pay, however you do it. If it's court ordered, it's going through them. So what happens is, it goes to them the first week, the second week, third week, fourth week, fifth week, sixth week. Sometimes in the sixth week, they take the money. She still hasn't gotten it yet. She's calling, it takes a little bit of time, up to 30 days for you to start receiving it. But yeah, he's taking it. It's been right out of his check, and he's paying us. Yeah. And then the woman's like, oh, okay, but I was just wondering. So what's happening is, there's a delay in the child support system up to, like I said, a month. So what's happening is, everyone who pays into the states and to the child support systems, all that money in that time is being put in accounts, escrow accounts, and being, used to generate more money for them. Some people know this, some people don't. This is why they have so much interest into the child support and family court system, is because there's a lot of money involved. Because think about it, it's just like a bank. All this money going in there, they get to make all kind of money, and then after that they start trickling it to the other parent who's getting the child support. Here's the 200 that you took, the 200 starts coming every week. Boom, two. But there's a 6-week delay on it. So for 6 weeks, they're making money off of your money. And that's how it works. That's why they have so much interest in your money. So a lot of people don't know that. Well, why do they have so much? This is why they set up this court. So this is why it's all about money. And that's it. All these things in court, legal terms and stuff that you're going to court for, all that is contracts and money. It's monetary. It's value. It's from the birth certificates to the social security numbers, everything in between. It's just another way to generate cash, and that's it. So, I know the family court is pretty tough. I'm just giving a whole rundown of the thing. I'm gonna be doing more on just like one specific thing and situations that I've been through, because I've been on the other coin to where I've got the custody and got the children as well. So I mean, my experience obviously will be different than anybody else's, but there is ways you can do that, because like I've made, videos before on my other channel. I mean, your children are property of the state, and that's it. And you got to try to go through the process to get your kids out of that, which involves stuff that wealthy people do and steps you got to take to get that way. Because right now, your kids are in control. I mean, there's wardens of, the state. The state has them. Just like the state has each and every one of us. And we operate in the public. You got to learn to operate in the private, like the private sector, which falls under a whole different category if everything's private. You could learn to operate in the public and in the private. And that's what we're supposed to do, but the problem is we are all tied to operating into the public, which the counties, and you go to any county clerk, that's who that's who has the basically the power of attorney over you. Like there's trusts on us, and right now the trust is controlled by the counties and states. So there's ways to get out of that, which I'm trying to work my way towards to get into the private sector, because that's where your freedom lies. I mean, it's just so much involved with this, and it's just hard to get it all out. It's all over the place, but a lot of people, I mean, you can't really find this information on YouTube, because everybody wants to say, oh, donate me this, I'll show you this, I'll move to this, and paperwork, but never show any kind of proof of any goddamn thing, because you just can't do it. I mean, you can do it, but you can't show the way that you got through it. And everybody that does wants to get paid from it, and I don't understand that. Like I'm not, yeah, it's a lot of work and stuff like that. Like I wouldn't try to sit there and walk anybody else through it. I just strictly tell them I'm not, but everybody's situation is different. And these people go out here are trying to like charge people to move paperwork and do this, and yeah, some may work, but yet these people are paying a lot of money to do this when you could just do it yourself. You know what I mean? All you have to do is realize no other fucking human being has any authority over you. None. You got to know how to maneuver out of it. I mean, there's a lot going on and a lot trying to get out of. But, this is stuff that I've known for a long time, but it's time. It's a lot of research. It's a lot of understanding legal terms and, what's what. I mean, just look up the simple word custody. It straight tells you that the authority is granting custody to another somebody, a thing, a person, whatever. Look up. I mean, the legal. You gotta go by legal terms. It's what it's all about. And if you legal terms in it, bam, you're probably fucked on the other side. So, just something I want to touch on. Family court, nobody really talks about it. I mean, it's just such a touchy subject, But other ways to get out of child support, man. If you ain't working, or if you're on assistance, you don't pay no child support. But that's a whole nother ball game, because if you're on the welfare system or whatever, I know in New York State, I know here you can't get it. You ain't getting child support from somebody who's on assistance. And I know plenty of people that's on that, and people have came to me, let me know, listen, I ain't working, I'm working under the table, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. She about to try to get me for all this child support, they doing this, doing that. I'm like, well, you ain't working. How's she gonna get, man? I'll be making all this money doing this down the side, doing this, whatever you doing, it ain't none of my business. I said, all right, well, take your happy ass down to the social service office and get on welfare, because they ain't gonna make you pay shit. Case closed the minute you walk in the door. There's nothing they can do. You go to child support. If you're in New York State and you're not working and you're getting money some kind of way that's off the record, all you gotta do is go down, social services, get on that shit, and when you walk in court, you let them know, I'm not working right now, I don't have the means, your honor, which he ain't shit but an administrative, whatever he is, a lawyer or not even an employee of the freaking administrative office. They're all broken up to corporations. She gonna go, well, he's driving around a $50,000-$60,000 car, and then and then all you do is just keep your mouth closed. Don't even say no, I don't, or this and that. And that. You don't say a word, because guess what? It's all about the paper trail. She ain't got nothing, and verbal is dead in court. None of that stuff matters in court. So all the judge is gonna simply do is look and say, see, he's gonna check on a computer and oh yeah, he's on social services. Well, I'm sorry, but we can't proceed because they're not. For one, I don't care if he's getting social services. The same corporation cannot pay to the same corporation. A person on welfare is not going to pay child support, which is the same system that they make the money in. So that's a simple way in New York State of getting out of child support. Yeah, it may whatever. You're going to pay, you could even volunteer, say, I'm not working, but I'll volunteer to pay. And guess what? You're not going to have any kind of back pay from that. You say, I volunteer, to pay, $100 a month, $200 a month. But still, take care of your goddamn kids. I'm not saying, oh, fuck your kids. No, this is for the people who are taking care of their kids. I'm not talking about people who don't want shit to do with their kids. They just want to get out of child support. This is for, I'm saying this to the people that are conscious and understand. The mom may be out there trying to get them. There's spiteful mothers out there that are out there trying to get, good fathers who maybe spend all kind of time and money with their kids out of spite. They just want to get them for the child support. So this is for them people. So, So that's what I say this for, not for the people who, ain't doing shit for the kids, But that's the way, simply fuck the system, man. Take care of your kids, but that's a way to get out of child support, the easy way. All that other shit, going through that I be seeing on here, it's a lot, But yeah, you can do it. I mean, it's totally illegal, and you do volunteer paying child support. You volunteer to go in that system. You know what I mean? It's all about the paper trail, the contract. It's all it is. They want to bring you in, negotiate a new contract. You volunteer to pay a sum that they drum up. Where does it come from? Where does these amounts just come from? It's a way for them to generate revenue and money. And if they, if you don't pay, what do? They lock you up. They get money for that. So this is just a quick video all over the goddamn place. If you get something from it, you do. If you don't, you don't. I don't really care, whatever, I just put it out there. People that are conscious will get it. People that are aware will get it. So just nobody really talks about, family court, man, and child support and all that other crazy stuff, But it is voluntary, and you do volunteer yourself, and I will go in depth with it more in New York State, where the trickery and the fuckery comes from, and some people could take that information and learn from their own, but that's what it's all about. And then divorce, Supreme, all that other crazy nonsense. When you go in New York State, when you go for a divorce, you go to Supreme Court, they kick it down to family court. And and then it comes back up when it's done to the Supreme Court, and they make the final rule. What happens is the Supreme Court is just the actual higher hand of the contract, and the lower court is the negotiators of the contract, and that lawyer, referee, whatever the hell is in there is negotiating it, and he flums it up to them anyways, and it goes to the state. So that's how all this mumbo jumbo nonsense works. It's crazy. I mean, it's really crazy how they have us all messed up. And, it's sad that, we got to run to them to sort out our own problems and stuff, But that's just, the whole society is structured that way, It's like, there's like a woman, nothing against women, but there's just like a lot of people will agree. There must be like a handbook out there where all women follow, because I see this to a lot of my friends. Like, this is the structure of the the thing. When the minute the couple breaks up and it's over and it got kids involved, the first thing they do is they run down to the child support, run down to get the custody, and try to just take it, and then don't let you see the damn kids. Like, this is what happens. I mean, anybody agrees or disagrees, I mean, that's on you. This is just how I see it and experience it, and from the hundreds of people I know. I mean, it's like they come to me first. I'm known to be come to for these issues, and when they come to me, I already know everything they about to tell me, and they're like, yep. How you know? Well, how you know? Because you ain't the first, and you not the millionth that's gonna go through this. And then every time someone goes into the court, you got to keep the mindset, you ain't the first rodeo that anybody has seen that's in the courtroom. The fake judge up there, the lawyers, everybody's done went through this worse than what you have, 10 times worse. So a lot of people go in there and think that they're the only. No, they see this every day, all day long for years. So it's a business, clockwork for them. You got to remember that. So hope this video, some information in here is valuable to somebody, but I just felt like I had to make that video today. This video today. Anybody want to know more, just hit me up, whatever. But I'm gonna make videos when I get the time about in-depth things with child support, family court, and custody, and battles, and all that stuff, and law terms and stuff like that, because they trick us, and they trick us, and we sign up for it. That's all it is. It's all the truth is in our plain sight and right in front of us, but they trick us every time. That's just how it works. I mean, all the way from traffic to we're tricked into everything. Here, sign here, sign here. We're signing away our freedoms. But there is a way to get out of this stuff, and that's going into the trust and the private. That's why these wealthy people, you never hear nothing about them, because it's all private. You may hear they mask the shit online. I mean, when you see it on entertainment, they mask it. But yet, these wealthy people understand how to move, and they're moving in the private. That's why, you don't hear a lot about it. A lot of these people, families, these wealthy people, they operate in private, so they have their things in trusts. Which, if you understand what a trust is, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. And that's what we need to learn how to do, is operate in the private. That's it. Only do our operate ourselves how we're supposed to operate, which is as a business. They created a business. We need to operate that way. Right now, they are operating us as the business, and that's how it's going. We need to take control of our business and operate it, which is ourself, our name, our number that they gave us. We need to learn how to operate in the public and in the private. Set ourselves into the private and operate into the public when we want to. It's as simple as that. And getting our property propertized and liens put against them in our own trust, where the state don't have any, the government doesn't have any bearing upon that, or they're going to have to pay for those liens, which they won't touch because there's liens on them, which is legal, formed, and stamped by them. I mean, it's that simple, I mean, this information is very, very hard to understand and hard to, not hard to figure out at all. It's actually easy, but it's hard to actually go through the whole process. And when you realize it, like, damn, this shit actually does work. Wow. Like, I actually just did that. Like, you start to understand what's really going on, And that's the process I'm at right now. When I'm done with it, believe me, I'll be banned from YouTube really fast. because I don't have no means to charge for any kind of this information. Nothing. You know, you hear all this talk about people going Savorian and Sovereign and you know and all this other crazy shit, you know. But there's ways you do it you do things that's legal that wealthy. I'm not talking about like rich folks with money. I'm talking about the wealthy people do, and this is what they do. This is why they can't ever be. They're never really touched unless they really do something, because this is what they do. They operate in the private. It's that simple. So something we need to do is get our shit in order, man, and learn how to operate our business. So that's it for now, and peace and love, everyone. I don't even know if I'm gonna upload this video. This was kind of like a rant, and I got all this from watching Dan Pratt's video about family court and, you know, family issues in court and all that crazy nonsense. So that's where this thought came from. I haven't been watching much videos, anything. I just been enjoying shit. But when I woke up this morning, things just start coming to me, and you know, I was thinking about actually family type court shit, and I actually sat and watched Dan's video about Dan Pratt's video about when he was talking about, you know, the family thing. So that kind of sparked this thought. So alright, everybody, peace, love, and just be conscious of everything, man. That's all it is about being conscious. Be conscious of your food, be conscious of people you associate with, be conscious of anything you put in your body, anywhere you go. Just be conscious of, you know, people that claim authority over you in any way, shape, or form. They don't have no authority over you. I'll give you a quick, you know, thing I figured out. Why I've been thinking about water so much lately, but there's water meters in homes, and I've been telling the water authority to go fuck off for over like a year and a half, and they are literally went as far as, you know, coming to my home and saying that they're gonna shut my water off, even though it's paid, because I won't let them read the meter that's in my property, which, you know, is owned by, you know, we own nothing. So technically the government owns it, but it's a different corporation that owns it. But the water corporation isn't going to come tell me that they're going to shut the water off. It ain't my water. The water off that their service provides on my property, which is not my property, which is another corporation property. Anyway, make a long story short, they're sending letters to me saying that they're gonna do this, not to basically tell them to fuck off. You know, they come to the house, no, fuck you. You're not coming in here to read anything. And they said, well, you can read and give it to us. I said, I don't gotta read nothing. I said, it's in our house. Come the correct way and do it. So I was never gonna let them in my house. But one day, my son was home. He's older. He couldn't get a hold of me. They were there, and they were threatening to shut the water off. And what happened was, he basically read the meter and gave it to him. And then when I actually came back and saw them, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, no. I'm like, oh, he didn't know any better, but they did get the reading. But I wanted to go through the whole process just to prove that what the stuff that I learn and understand and know is 100% correct. Because they've been doing this for a year and a half, and I was not letting them. I wanted them to come with paperwork, so then I could come at them with the paperwork, because that water authority does not control their whole entire water authority system, which other corporations control the system, which is it comes from the state, the county, and the city. So there's a lot of corporations involved, and then me on the property, and then the state, which is the property I'm on. So there's a lot of stuff that they got to go through before they even can do that. And if they actually shut the water off, I would have had them in court, because it would have been totally illegal to do. and I'm paying that corporation, so it's totally illegal. And then them sending them letters threatening to shut it off is another illegal tactic, which all could have been up in court. And I would have loved to go through that process, but it didn't happen. But like I said, don't let anyone who claims they have authority over you use that. Make them come with some paperwork to prove that shit, and know what grounds you stand on with your paperwork. So I ranted long enough, and that's about all I got. So peace, love, everybody. Just stay conscious.